think for a lot of salespeople out there, B2B sales audience, we get 1 million people always watching the content asking, like, how do you do value? Like, what's your advice?
120 rule for value, so it's really simple.
Okay.
I wake up every morning. Number one, I pray for at least 10 people that I can help.
Awesome.
2, I meditate. 3, before I go to the gym, the next thing I do for 1 minute is I close my eyes and I dream that my room is full of $100 bills, and I go out grabbing sacks of it and handing you 100 and asking for 20 back. And I want to know what that feels like.
Interesting.
Right? That exchange, $100 of value, because I'm actually giving 80.
Yeah.
I'm giving 80.
Yeah.
An exchange, there's a flow. So
Love that.
What I do is use that just like my meditation as a litmus test to know where my energy should be when I'm selling. So it's not only what I think, say, do, and believe, it's the energy that I carry, right? That people just feel very confident, like, oh my God, he's giving me so much more.
Yep, that I'm willing to exchange the 20.
And I answer this question. If you can't answer this question concerning your credibility, the emotional attachment, the reasons, quantitative impact, or quantitative capability, can you see any reason, according to those things, that you wouldn't want to do business with me? Then you're not there ready to sell yet, including energy-wise. People, they don't have the credibility to sell, and they still try. They don't have an emotional attachment. Or quantitatively, they can't figure out a reason. They don't believe the reason or an impact that has more value than they're asking for. Because everybody in the world, I'm promising you, if you walk up to them, and I do this on stage a lot, hey, you want $100? Yeah,
of course.
20 back? Sure. Nobody says no.
Right.
So why would they say no if you said, hey, I want to sell you this
book, your new book,
$100 million,
or whatever,
but I guarantee you'll make $200 million. Right? I can sell you anything.
Right.
You don't have $100 million maybe, but if I guaranteed you put $200 million in escrow in your mom's account and said, look, if you can't make $200 million by the end of the year, I'll relieve you of the $100 million debt, and I'll give you the $200 million.
Everyone would do that deal.
So why would they do your deal? The problem isn't the product, service, or solution. It's literally the person conveying the value. And if you haven't done the work to figure out the value by credibility, emotional attachment, reasons, impacts, and capabilities, then go back to work.
Yeah.
So you were really like, I just want to launch the Growth Mindset University, interview experts, learn from them so that I can benefit. Is that pretty much like the preface to where it all started? And when I say so I can benefit, it's just like so I can learn and grow. And maybe other people can learn and grow from that experience.
Yes. And it was, I don't know, thought it might be fun. But I do want to answer your question is like how. I have these email templates.
Yeah, how? That's a big one. Everyone can know.
I have these email templates. I have initial cold outreach email. I have several follow-ups, and I have and then a contingency plan if you still haven't booked them on your podcast to maybe get them on your podcast later, 6 months down the line. But and
what's
I go over
contingency plan.
Yeah, so the contingency plan
that I haven't heard of a contingency podcast plan before.
Well, sure, yeah. It's nothing crazy. If they don't respond to any of your 4 emails that you send that I go over in the podcast playbook, then you follow up or you make an appointment in your calendar 6 to 12 months later. If you've received no responses at all, 6 to 12 months later, and then repeat the process, and I almost guarantee it'll work. Actually, it works more. So like if they do respond to one of your emails, but like say no, then you respond, then you make an appointment in your calendar to follow up, 3-4 months down the line. And that works like every time, you just repeat the process and
I love it.
I go over all these, I go over the templates in my, and they're very personalized too, in my book. And, there's a reason behind every line. It's all rooted in human behavior and communication. My favorite things to study. It's not random, and I've iterated and improved upon it, as time's gone on, and, just change different words and
I love that, dude.
Yeah.
So how do you create that culture of like role playing's cool, you'll make a lot of money doing it, and you'll skill up?
Yep. Yeah. It's so hard because it's vulnerable, right? You have to put yourself directly in front of your peers and be willing to fail in front of them. Because let's be honest, you're going to fail a lot of the time because that's a part of the learning process. The way you create the culture, to answer your question though, is by making it about feedback and improvement as opposed to being graded or judged, right? So and that comes often from the top down. When you have a sales manager or a director or a CEO, it has to be about failure is accepted and expected, and here is the feedback I'm going to give you so the next time you don't make that same mistake, and you can constantly improve yourself. When you can create a culture like that where failure is okay and vulnerability is okay, and it is about the feedback that you get from those experiences, and you see as a rep yourself getting better, it becomes less vulnerable and it becomes less scary because you know you are going to improve. So you are willing to put yourself in those situations. When it's about judgment, or it's about being graded, or it's about reflecting on that failure and not necessarily getting better, that's when it becomes a culture that no one wants to participate in, and it becomes negative. We have to keep it positive about making yourself better.
Your top entrepreneurship tip for people like me and all the entrepreneurs that are building, growing, thinking about starting companies. What is your top top entrepreneur secret to building, growing companies?
I have this acronym called B.A.G.S. So if you're going to build a product, it has to be the best alternative for the goal of a segment. So you work back the other way, say, what segment am I going after? Segment of users, right? What goal do they have that they're really acting upon? And how can I provide a better alternative than what they currently do? And if you work with this simple thing, it's obvious, right? You want to be a better alternative for a goal. If you work with this simple thing, then you that gives you a framework that is going to be brutal in telling you that you have a product or not, because we all know as entrepreneurs that product market fit is the biggest problem, right? Ever seen the Mark Andreessen blog? We all know that if you have product market fit, you're in good shape. If you don't, you lost. So how do you get product market fit is the question. And this B.A.G.S. acronym, it works really well, because say, am I a better alternative? What goal am I helping the user with? And am I a better alternative for this goal than what he's looking at? And it's a simple framework, but whenever we launch a product, we say, well, what goals on your inbox? What goals are we trying to serve? What do people do their inbox? What goals do they have? And how are we a better alternative? That's what they can do now. Maybe now they can go to Slack, they can forward the email. How is that better? And if you can focus these questions, you have a better shot at finding product market fit.
That having been said, I would say everything comes down to this one idea, which would be this. Sales is a service, all right? In the world of AI that is coming, all right, I don't want to talk to a salesperson. Salespeople don't want to talk to salespeople, okay? They want to press a button that says, buy this, all right? That's what they want to do. They only want to talk to a salesperson if they have a need to, okay? And so I think a lot of salespeople think this whole thing of, oh, well, selling's about relationships and my customers like me and blah, blah. They might love you, but if they can buy from a buy button and not have to talk to you for 15 or 20 minutes and not have to schlep to a place to buy from you, or not have to go through a whole bunch of demos they don't want to have to go through and get price discriminated, who knows what, they're going to choose to press the buy buttons. They realize that this is a whole other concept outside of the scope of this interview. I don't believe in competition, but at the end of the day, realize that what you are up against is that buy button. So you have to ask yourself, what is the benefit, the net positive benefit that you offer to your prospect in their eyes, not yours. Okay. You might say, well, I'm all about quality and I'm all about, giving value and all this other shit. And it's like, yeah, that might be true, I guess. But the question is, does your prospect think that?